Hello everybody and welcome to my Detective Pikachu review. This movie came out about 2 weeks ago, I think, but I have just seen it, and I'm going to review it anyway. I still need to review Avengers Endgame 2, but that is a much bigger task. I'm not going to do a non-spoiler review, I'm going to just do a long spoiler review because everyone has seen it by now. And I'm also going to still, even though I'm definitely very late, do some videos around Endgame, like performances, future, stuff like that. But getting to the movie at hand, before I begin this review, I think it's important for me to say I'm not a Pokemon fan at all, really. The whole trading card game that has been very popular was something that sort of passed me by and I never really got into. There were lots of kids in my school who were into it, but I never got into it. I never really was intrigued by it. The first time I ever really interacted with anything Pokemon was recently, a few years ago, with the mobile game phenomenon thing of Pokemon Go. I played it for like one summer, and I think during that summer, looked into studied the world of Pokemon, I guess, a little bit more, looking up the different like types of Pokemon evolutions and stuff. And I think also just through video games like Smash Bros and stuff, have a pretty decent idea of like the main popular Pokemon. I'm not a really deep cut Pokemon person. I just know the basics pretty much. And yeah, I'm not really super into it like I can be with superheroes and Star Wars and stuff, where I do get deep cut. This, not really at all. I know the basics. So this review is this is pretty much a review of a Pokemon movie coming from a non-Pokemon fan. I think you should take that into consideration while watching this review. That I'm not the hugest Pokemon fan, which I think with some movies, like with Marvel movies, being fans enhances it a little bit, but I don't think it really affects it that much. But I think with this review, or this movie, it may affect it a little bit more, which is why the first part I want to get into is now actually getting into the review is the whole casual versus hardcore fan aspect. I think Detective Pikachu is a good movie for non-Pokemon fans, like casual fans. But I think from what I'm hearing and what it seems like, it's more of a great movie for actual hardcore Pokemon fans. I think it's good for people who are just entering this world, but great for the actual Pokemon fans, because the amount of references and nods to the Pokemon lore and world and all of that, there's a lot of them in this movie. A lot of them, I think like 90% or more, went over my head totally. But there are definitely hardcore Pokemon fans, like in the audience, and people who I know of who are hardcore Pokemon fans, who totally loved them and loved this movie. I think this is very much a movie that is a love letter to the fans, sort of like Endgame was sort of like a love letter to all of the fans of the Marvel Cinematic Universe who have watched all 21 movies before that. It's so much better. I think it's really hard not to watch Endgame. We're not really getting into that, but without having seen a lot of the previous movies. So this is, I think, not very similar, but similarly a love letter to the fans of Pokemon. Now, getting into the actors and characters. First off, of course, with this movie, Ryan Reynolds. I think he makes this movie 10 times more comedic than it would be without him. He totally enhances this movie. He is a highlight, I think, him and the character he plays. I think he has added adult appeal to this movie because of his snarky humor. I think it's very much more designed and appeals more to adults than it does to kids. And I think a lot of his jokes in this movie actually will go over kids' heads and actually be funny to adults, which is good for a movie to work with both the kids who their parents are taking to see the movie and the parents who will actually get a few laughs out of it. And I think he definitely also brings some much needed star power to this movie. Even if you don't see him, like his face on screen, he like not owns, but I think pretty much owns this movie. Like a lot of the stuff is posted to his social media and stuff. None of the other actors in it are really that big at all. Justice Smith, he was in Jurassic World 2. That's really all I've ever seen him in. Maybe I think he was in The Get Down or something. But mainstream audiences do not know him, and I don't think he would be a big appeal or sell for people to see a movie. But I think Ryan Reynolds totally is, and you can totally tell with the character of Detective Pikachu that it is Ryan Reynolds. Getting into actual character now, the character he plays of Pikachu, he is honestly the cutest thing I've seen in such a long time. Like maybe the cutest thing I've ever seen. He's so adorable. That's the biggest, maybe the biggest appeal about him is just how freaking cute he is. I mean, if you've seen that 80s dance video that he released a few days before the movie released, I honestly watched that for I think like 20 minutes every day for like a week after it came out. Just because every time I looked at it, I would like get so happy just from how cute he was doing that dance. So cute, so cute. Whoever designed him to like, because he's cute in the video games and stuff, but he's furry here. He is much more real, much more like expressive, and he's just so cute. And his humor makes him even cuter. I think him trying to like please Justice Smith's character, like make him happy, is so adorable as he's like trying to figure out this whole mystery thing while also trying to figure out his own identity too, because he doesn't really have a clue about who he is. Lost his memory. I think his dedication to the mystery of this movie is infectious. It makes you more dedicated to the mystery too, even though it is predictable. It's a kids movie, so it appeals to adults, but is mainly a kids movie, and therefore the mystery is a little predictable. I saw it coming, but nonetheless didn't extremely affect the movie. I would have liked maybe a bit more of a complex mystery, but it doesn't really take away too much. His snarky and sassy side are hilarious to see, and his sad scene, like where he's crying, makes me just want to hug him to death. I think he is the best part of this movie. I mean, just look in the trailer during that like Pika Pika scene, like where they ask if they can understand him, and he just says Pika Pika. He's adorable. He's funny. He's the heart and soul of this movie. He definitely carries it. Now, for Justice Smith, he also does a good job with all of his scenes, selling both the comedic scenes and also the emotional scenes, because his father is supposedly dead. And he plays a very good like main human to follow, and also plays a very good like straight man to Pikachu's like funny comedic character. And another big highlight of this movie is the world building. The world building in this is great, which is why I think they should definitely. I think it's doing pretty well at the box office, pretty decent. So why they should continue forward with this universe. I loved this world, and I don't know much about Pokemon. I don't know if this was completely accurate to the world that takes place in the games or the animated movies and stuff, but this whole Rhyme City was awesome, and I want to spend more time in it. It's like the second MVP of this movie, after Pikachu, of course. It's just an amazing setting. I think just like watching the background activity going on during the scenes in that city is entertaining on its own. Just seeing like all the different people and their Pokemon in the background, it's very entertaining. I think it's like basically what you'd get if you like mixed modern day Tokyo, like if modern day Tokyo had like a three-way with Toontown and Blade Runner, like their future shocked LA, like combine all of them together in that Rhyme City and throw like the whole Toontown aspect of Pokemon in there, and it's a very, very good setting. I really liked it. And as for the Pokemon, they're also very great in this movie. They Like all of them throughout the movie, whether they have roles or just pop up for a few seconds, are amazing. The CGI on all of them is stunning. Like looking at how Sonic looks compared to the creatures in this is like it's complete 360, totally different. And the CG is honestly amazing. And all of the Pokemon are great, but there are some standouts, of course, which Pikachu, also Psyduck, who spends a lot of this movie. I think it's like the second biggest Pokemon on this adventure, and I like his whole "I am Groot" complex, where he's like all he can really say is Psyduck, and it's very very cute. Then also Charizard and Mewtwo. I don't know if I ever say that right. Mewtwo were very cool, and there were a ton of adorable Pokemon with small roles who just pop up who just enhance this movie with a few seconds, with the whole world building aspect. As for the whole video game trend about how video game movies have never really been all that good and does this break it, I'd say that this is a step in the right direction, but I don't think it breaks it really, just because it's like a good 6.5, 7 out of 10, and I don't really consider that sort of score breaking a trend. I would consider like a 9 out of 10 breaking a trend. Like, wow, this is a great movie. This is, it's a good movie. It's cute. It's fun. It's not really taking that step forward like The Dark Knight did for superheroes and stuff like that. Yeah, so I think it's cute. It doesn't break the trend. But it's definitely, I think, still worth seeing. If definitely if you're a Pokemon fan, for sure you should see it because it's designed for you. But if you just want to see a movie stock full of cute creatures and Pokemon and stuff like that, like Pikachu and Psyduck, you should check it out too. It's a good movie. That's what I would say. It's a good movie. It's fun. I'll see it again probably when it comes out on DVD, but I'm not going to see it in theater 4 times like I am Endgame so far. But that is my Detective Pikachu review. Very cute, good movie, and like I said, if you're a Pokemon fan or if you just like cute creatures, it's for you. So I would check it out. Hopefully, Endgame spoiler review coming soon. Let's hope, and more videos besides that also hopefully coming soon.